This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Bruce.
Jody, we did it. We've made it almost to the end of the year.
I know, we're here. We're here. I'm counting this is pretty much done.
Yeah. I am ready for 2021 to be over. I'm ready for a new year, for new outlook, some new good things to happen.
Absolutely.
This year, not so great. Not so great.
Yeah.
But
we made it through.
We did. And it's important to look on the bright side whenever you can. So that's what we're going to do today, is kind of look back at some of the good things, the best of the things that stood out to us that we liked. People, brands, TV shows, movies, music, beer.
Yes. Mostly beer.
Mostly beer. A lot of beer. Yes. Do you want to start off with the beer that you're having?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing a couple of beers. So we're doing like a end of year holiday beer, weird beers, whatever we have left over in our fridge beer.
Yes.
Tasting. I did go out to the McMenamins bottle shop this morning.
Nice.
I was the first one there. I pulled on the door and it wasn't open yet. And I was like, oh, whoops. Hello, it's 10 o'clock. What's going on? So what I got is Peppermint Bark Yeti Imperial Stout.
Nice.
I was like, I don't know. That sounds interesting.
Is that from
the Great Divide?
Nice.
Yep. Canned and brewed by the Great Divide Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado.
Hey.
I'm a big fan of their Yeti beer.
Oh yeah.
Their Imperial Stout. So I thought I would start with this one.
Right.
I did already open it, so I've already had a couple of tastes.
Does it taste like peppermint bark? Is that kind of what you're getting?
I'm not getting a lot. I got there's a little hint of the pepperminty.
Huh. Okay.
It's very subtle, which is, I was like, this could be really sugary and too much peppermint bark, but there's just a little hint of that, so which is good. It's a stout with peppermint chunks, vanilla, and chocolate.
Interesting.
So it's pretty good so far. I mean, it's going to be a heavy duty one. I'm not seeing the alcohol content. 9.5. There it is. I knew it was going to be up there. So
nice.
These are not for the faint of heart. That's for sure.
Yes. So I want to throw in a beer that was so good that I actually drank it yesterday at a family gathering.
Uh-oh.
I know. Normally we're drinking the beers here on the show, but this one was so good, and it was gifted to me by Garrett, who is in a video that you'll see at chubster.com. It is a beer called Rhino Suit, and it is from AleSong Brewing and Blending. And this beer is it's basically like a sweet kind of milk stout. You would have loved this, Jody. This is all right. This is your kind of beer. It was 12.4%. Yes, it was definitely it was one bottle that lasted me from late morning to afternoon. I was done. It was a sipper for sure. So definitely one that I really enjoyed, and I am generally not I'm not a big fan of those kind of beers, but this was phenomenal.
What was it called again?
It's called Rhino Suit.
Okay, I heard that and I was like, what?
Yeah, and so there are a few different varieties of Rhino Suit, and this one is not the coconut. It's not the, I can't remember. There's another. This was the standard Imperial Milk Stout, and so it was brewed in, there are bourbon barrels involved. There's brown sugar and vanilla, and I mean, it was just phenomenal. Like the bourbony taste was not overpowering. It was just right. It was absolutely a strong beer. Nice. The coffee taste to it was great. I would absolutely recommend this beer if you want something to share with other people that you're going to sip on as you kind of hang out around the hearth this holiday season. Whatever, as your I guess now the holiday season is basically over at this point. So, it's just one of those that you want to drink with friends, I think. So definitely try that out, and highly recommend it. And thank you, Garrett, for the beer.
Nice. Rhino, what?
Rhino Suit.
Suit.
Yes, from AleSong Brewing and Blending.
Okay, gotta check that one out.
Yeah.
So so we're also going to be talking about some of our favorites from 2021, some of the best ofs. What category did you want to start with?
I'd like to start with people, because
people. Okay, people.
There are a couple people that there are a lot of people who probably had a really good year. Considering everything that we're having to deal with, worldwide pandemic, so on and so forth. But there are two that kind of stood out to me. Well, three really that stood out to me that are kind of in our sphere that I wanted to throw out. And the first one is actor Harvey Guillen, who is he is Guillermo on What We Do in the Shadows, the FX show, which is phenomenal. He's so good as this character. After the there's a season that just came out this year, but at the end of last season, it was kind of a cliffhanger. Found out some interesting things about his character, and he plays it so well, and they've really been able to have his character grow while keeping the entire show is just hilarious. It's perfect. So he's been killing it on that show. We've covered him on Chubster many times, lots of interviews and photo shoots and good stuff like that. So it's been really cool to see where he's going and what he's put together. He also did a voice on a Mickey Mouse. I think it's the Mickey Mouse. Let me see. Harvey. He did Mickey Mouse Funhouse. Yes. So he's been doing a lot of other things. There's a lot of stuff going on. He's in some new shows that are coming up in 2022. He's doing so much and so many cool fun things, and it's really interesting to see somebody that we've followed and admired for so long making it work, doing something they love. So
nice.
Yes. Also on the list, Zach Miko, who launched his swimwear line, Mikos.
Yes.
Meekos. He got that out there. It's a labor of love, something he's wanted to do for a long time. He got it out, he did it, and it was a big thing for him, and I was super impressed to see kind of how he put it together and what his goals are. I hope that he continues to do some things in 2022 with it, and I bet he will. So very cool to see what he had to offer for extended sizes with Mikos, specifically focused on swim, which is something that we don't see that often. And that really plays into what we always talk about with like doing things that aren't just the norm that everybody's doing when it comes to big and tall clothing. And he saw something that needed to be there, and he did it. So very cool.
Very nice. Very nice. I just wanted to shout out someone not necessarily in the big and tall world, but I just wanted to shout out Britney Spears. She had a big year this year.
Yes.
Maybe not. I mean, I guess it is career-wise. She got released from her conservatorship, which is, I didn't realize had been going on for quite a few years, a lot longer than I had ever thought.
Sure.
But yeah, so this year she got released from that, part of the big Free Britney campaign that all her fans and stuff were all about. And I think there was a couple different documentaries that really shone a spotlight on that whole situation that really kind of helped her out tremendously this year. So
definitely,
I that just kind of popped into my head, and I remembered that was kind of a big deal.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Yeah. That is definitely a big one, and long overdue.
Very much.
So the last person on my list is Lord Troy, who let me actually pull up his bio, because I want to do this right. Well, they're singing songs and slinging nail polish. So Lord Troy on Instagram, you can check him out, find everything there. He launched a nail polish brand called Party Brewing. It's spelled P-A-R-D-E, but it's pronounced Party, P-A-R-T-Y. So actually a very, very cool thing that he's put together. He's just done some really interesting things, great music, and branching out from here. He's a lot of fun. If you're not following him, you definitely should be. He certainly had a great year. So, there we go.
Yeah, it's even with everything going on, people are still doing a lot of work and doing amazing things. So
Yes. So new category.
oh, sure. Do we
All
want
right.
new beer first, or
Yes,
just new
yes.
category? Okay.
New beer. We should keep it moving.
I have Krampus. There's a
Ooh.
very lovely can here.
That's
the
amazing.
Krampus person figure on there. This is a cider fermented with cranberries and juniper berries.
Oh wow.
With Wildcraft Ciderworks in Eugene, Oregon. Who creeps forth from tangled groves when days are short and darkness grows? There's a whole thing here. I'm not gonna read. But cranberries and juniper berries.
Ooh.
Oh, it's very red. Ooh-wee.
Intense.
Sometimes the sours really hit you.
Oh yeah, they do.
That's interesting. Sour. It's got a wow. It's really dry. Ooh, man, that is definitely sour.
Oh man,
this is a 7.8. Wow.
Ooh. Well, this will be the end of your day after.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
With shaggy mane and curly horns, like dying leaves and berry thorns.
Nice.
This one's good. Wildcraft Ciderworks.
Ooh, all right. Very cool. Wildcraft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Krampus. I just, I saw that, I had to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing can. Yes. So for me, my next beer is the Brrr Hoppy Red. Yes.
Oh, yeah. B-R-R-R-R.
Yes. Hoppy Red, Northwest Red Ale from Widmer Brothers Brewing. So I went through the mini fridge, and there were a lot of things in there, but very few of them were the holiday beers, because the holiday beers have been enjoyed already for the most part. So this was one that was still there. And I know that I've had this before, maybe last year or the year before, or something like that. It's a seasonal of theirs for sure.
Definitely seen that.
It's mighty hoppy, mighty red. It says it's a one-of-a-kind winter warmer. Generously hopped, Brrr's citrusy hop aroma and smooth bitterness exemplify the Northwest style red ale. So it is it's very intense, it's very hoppy, and it's a good one. Especially it fits right there with those winter warmers. It definitely does that. So
gonna be a long day.
It is going to be a long day. Yes. Yes. So I wanted to throw in shout out a clothing brand that I think is doing some good stuff, has had a great 2021, and we've talked about them before, I'm sure, on the show, but Good Counsel, who is they're kind of doing the personal stylist sort of subscription box thing for big and tall guys with sizes to 10X, and they're doing a really great job, putting together clothing that fits and has style. And they've thought a lot about how they make the clothes, what they have to offer. I just like that they are another one that's kind of filling a gap that needed to be filled. There are, other companies out there doing, the personal stylist thing, but they don't focus on this audience. And Good Counsel, They do, and they seem to be doing that very well in 2021, and I'm sure in 2022. So,
yeah, they got some really great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a brand specifically. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just been nice to see the brand still continuing to offer the big and tall clothes. Hopefully we'll get out of the basics. You can go check out our predictions for 2022 episode, and we kind of talked about all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I already talked about all that stuff in that episode. So go check that one out for our clothing predictions for 22.
Definitely.
Whew.
So another category that we want to jump into is music, because there has been some great music this year. That is one thing that has definitely saved me throughout the years, just finding good music and finding things to listen to that really stand out. So do you have something as far as music that you want?
Sure. I'm going to talk. I mean, I'll mention Lil Nas X. Had a great year. Very out there with his homosexuality, and I'm really happy to see that he's putting that really forefront in his music, his videos. He's not shying away from it. He's really hitting it right on the nose, like his videos and his lyrics. Like if you're listening, like maybe if you're not even into the genre that he does, like if you're listening to the lyrics and the messages, it's really, really well done. Like there's a lot of depth to the lyrics and the messaging. So I think you should definitely go check him out if you haven't done so already. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much on covers everywhere, all the magazine covers, doing, I don't know how many millions of albums I'm sure he's sold. The most recent one, I think, was Montero, was the latest one that came out, the album. So definitely check them out. It's been amazing. I definitely have put that album on repeat many times. It's very good. I enjoy
Very
it.
nice. Yes. Yeah. So I've kind of been all over the place as far as music goes this year, and that's fun. It's nice to be able to bring in different things with different moods and different vibes. And for me, what I tend to do is at the beginning of every year, I start a playlist of what I consider to be my best of 2021. And I throw songs on it as I hear them and kind of come back. So then this time of year, I'm like, what did I actually like this year? And so I've got a big playlist that will be public. If you're listening to this, we'll have a link to it so you can take a listen for yourself, because there's a ton of stuff on it. Looking here to see, it says 80 songs, 5 hours and 15 minutes. So if you need something to listen to, I did find that there are a couple songs that slipped in that were actually from 2020, but I had not heard them. I really liked them, so I left a few, but most of them, it's the vast majority, it's 2021. And so they kind of run the spectrum. There's really popular mainstream stuff to strange things that I had never seen before, some throwback stuff, some classics, some new, and it all kind of runs across genres. But some of the things that really stuck out to me this year, Japanese Breakfast is a band that's pretty popular this year, and the song specifically that I can't ever get out of my head is called Be Sweet. I've actually had it in my head all morning, and as we've been doing this podcast, it's stuck in there, just kind of like in the background. It's definitely a song I recommend. Listen to the whole album, it's great, but that song, there is a band called Spirit of the Beehive they have an album called Entertainment, Death, which is, it's like this, I don't even know how you describe this exactly. It's like, it's noisy, it's poppy, it's kind of everywhere. It's so weird and unique and catchy. You kind of have to sit through the whole thing and just take it in. and I really like that. Sometimes I want that. Sometimes I just want something that's super accessible and easy, but sometimes I want Spirit of the Beehive. So absolutely recommend. I think there's a lot of music, but the only other one that I'm going to throw out that I really liked is there's a band out of Detroit called Ultra Pop. I'm sorry, called The Armed, and their album is Ultra Pop, and it's phenomenal. It is definitely there's a little hardcore. It's noisy, it's poppy, it's catchy. It is high energy for sure, and it's definitely one that I like to throw on when I'm just like, if I'm trying to work, or if I'm writing, if I'm working on something and I just need to be in it all the way.
Yeah.
I would definitely say The Armed, they got it down, and Ultra Pop is really, really good. So
Nice.
yeah, like I said, check out the playlist. We'll link to it, and you can get a lot more to listen to from there.
Nice.
Yes.
I'll have to check out your song list and put that in, maybe put that in my rotation a little bit. I need to change up some of my music a little bit.
Yeah, there's some other things that I've got on the list that are just like totally different from anything I just described. Like there's a song called Twerkulator by City Girls, which is it's the best. It's the best. Let me just look here. We've got a new song from Low. There's let's see, Group Love, just because it was so a very weird and interesting cover. Idols, Volbeat. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that's that I think there's something for everyone. So definitely check it out.
Good.
All right.
Whew.
So TV?
Sure, TV.
Yeah. Do we need to throw in another beer, or what do you think? What do you think?
I think I maybe take a pause on beer and then we'll do it on the next one.
Perfect. All right. So
I'm catching
TV.
up a little bit.
Yes.
I got my TV that I really enjoyed. I can't remember exactly when in 21 it happened, but WandaVision was a real big hit for me. I know at the beginning of the season I was a little unsure because I didn't understand the concept that they were going through with the different genres, of the TV that they were doing.
Yeah.
Because they kind of progressed during the 50s, 60s, 70s, different TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it at first. So it took me a couple episodes to really like, all right, I'm going to give this a couple more and see how it goes. But I really liked all the little Easter eggs and the little clues that they gave you. And it was fun. It was a really fun show.
Yeah, it was the cool thing about WandaVision is, like you said, they go through all those genres and the decades and all of that. But at its core, it's kind of a show about grief. And I think it was really interesting to see what they did there, kind of how they built that out. And I believe it was the first of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, which we have gotten a bounty of Disney Plus Marvel shows this year.
Yes.
And they've kind of run the spectrum. I think, I really loved WandaVision and kind of how it kicked things off, which apparently because of the pandemic, it ended up being the first one. I don't think it was supposed to be, but it ended up being that. Of all of those, I really feel like right now, I think Hawkeye is probably my favorite of these
still
shows.
Catching up on that one.
It kind of brought the stakes down. Like I don't know if it brought the stakes down, but it made it smaller. It's not as much, you're not saving the universe. It's more, this is, in the world, in the neighborhood, in New York, it's this kind of thing. And I really dig that, because I feel like it's been high stakes and there's always these massive Marvel movies and shows, but I don't know. I like that. And I think they did some really good, interesting stuff with Clint Barton Hawkeye in that. And so it really kind of stuck out to me. So that said, I mean, I'm going to watch all of the Marvel Disney.
Yeah, I'll probably watch.
Whatever.
I watched, which I always mess up, the Winter Hawk.
The Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
See, I always get it wrong. I'm like, Winter Hawk? What is it?
Right.
I like that one. That one was good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna watch them. I like that they, like you said, they're bringing the story down a little bit, and then like you said, the newest one is really just like him and this another character running around New York City.
Right.
You know, it wasn't too big.
Yeah, and by the time you're listening to this, the last episode of that is out. So yeah, we'll have to revisit in a future episode because I'm sure it's going to be very exciting. Some of the things that they've done in the last couple episodes have been awesome. So yeah,
Nice.
I think that is, you know, as far as Marvel goes, the other shows that I've really been into, Succession, it's been ridiculous. It's fun to see. It is definitely like, oh man, soap opera in a way. It's it's people that you love to hate, very rich people who have everything, who um, don't feel like they have enough, that are not kind, but there's something really compelling about watching the show and watching some of them kind of explode, kind of watching the train derail, I think is interesting. You know, it's one of those things that I think people are really digging this year. And I know for me, it's been one that I binged a lot of. I hadn't actually watched the first season until earlier this year, and then I was hooked. So I'm very excited to see where it goes, and you know, who they bring in next. Yeah.
Cool. Another show for me was Pose, that was on FX.
Oh yeah.
With Billy Porter, kind of the main character in there. But it was the final season of Pose, which was, you know, they pushed through the pandemic and got the episode or the season done. It was kind of I liked it. Kind of showing some gay history, which was kind of cool. Some of the, you know, just different aspects of our community, which was really nice. They had a lot of transgendered characters, which is really awesome to see. Some representation there as well, but it was kind of sad. I didn't necessarily love the ending, but you know, that just shows that I wanted to keep going sometimes, you know. But it was really nice to see, you know, there was HIV positive characters and how they were dealing with that kind of at the beginning of that crisis. How the community came together. There were some act up scenes in there. There's a big, and they're a big advocacy group that came out in the early 80s. But yeah, it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah. As far as other shows on my list, I definitely liked, there were a lot of HBO shows that were really good. Mayor of Easttown was good. Everybody watched that. You know, I'm just thinking you could go down a long list of HBO shows, but if I jump away from that, Only Murders in the Building on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Steve Martin Short. They definitely put something together that was really compelling, and just watching the trailers and all that, I was kind of like, I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. One that really stuck out to me though was Hacks, which back to HBO. It's really about the comedy world, and a Las Vegas stand-up who has been performing and has been at the top of her game for decades and decades. And she's basically it's a lot of it is kind of about the treatment of women in the comedy world and in entertainment, and kind of finding their way through that. She's paired with a comedy writer, and who is much younger, and there's a lot of the show really plays off of their friction and the way that they connect or don't connect, and sort of what that looks like. And it's really interesting, and it's just like, oh man, it felt a lot to me. It is not the same, but it felt a lot to me like Ted Lasso, just in, I guess, the friendship and the, I don't know, there's, an interesting kind of joy in this show, and I
Yeah.
highly recommend it. I think it touches on a lot of things that that are important, that are being discussed now in culture, but also some things that we don't hear quite as much about. Ageism, it's different things, but it takes them on in a really interesting way that I would highly recommend checking out the show.
That's funny because I literally just kind of was scrolling through seeing other shows, and I was like, "Oh, that one looks good."
Yeah,
because the late, what was her name? Jean something
Gene Smart kills it.
from designing women way back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, that looked
yes. And the recent Watchmen continuation, she was also in that. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
And she was phenomenal in that as
God,
well.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So even if you just come in for Gene Smart, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's great.
Nice.
All right, beer time.
Okay. Oh, my opener. All right. I think we might have had this one before, and I'm not even sure what it's called. It just says "Merry Christmas, Happy New Year" from Anchor Brewing Co. Our special ale.
So it's the Anchor Christmas Ale, and each year Anchor does a different Christmas ale. They're phenomenal. Anchor is one of my favorite breweries out there. I know that they were recently purchased in the last few years, and people have been concerned about the quality of their beers dropping off. I know that they made a label change to one of their beers that has been widely panned, but their Christmas beer, it's usually glorious. So I am hoping that you will find it to be glorious as well. So
far,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to find this year's on this.
Oh yeah, you can follow all of our beer drinking escapades on Untapped. So untapped.com. We've got the Heavy Conversation beer list up, and you can check it out. Oh, that face. There's what's happening here.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
There's like kind of some tartness, some berry in there.
Okay.
Wait, what does it say up here?
It says a lot.
It does.
Their labels, their Christmas labels, they have a lot of text.
All right, so spiced, dark, malty, berries and fruity.
Okay.
That's all it says in the Untapped thing. But yeah, there's a whole story here.
Well, there we go.
Natural beauty of the Western Joshua tree.
Yeah, they have a whole thing with their Christmas beer. I know our description here is a ringing endorsement for for the beer, but trust us, it's a good one to try. They've been doing Christmas beers for decades, and
this is out of San Francisco.
Yes.
The Anchor Brewing in San Francisco.
Yep.
I don't know, that one I might have to come back to that one.
Yeah, well,
like a lot of different flavors going on.
I was going to open another holiday beer, but I've changed my mind, and I went through the dregs of the mini fridge to see what I could find here, and I am going to break out. Let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. How about we do? All right, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We are going to break into. Ooh, not that one. I've changed my mind.
Oh,
I don't think
indecisive this morning.
I know. I don't think I can handle a sour. I'm not.
All right.
I'm not there this morning. So, all right. I'm going to do this one, which is called the Strongest Geometric Shape, and it is from Barrier Brewing, which is in Oceanside, New York. It's a New England style India Pale Ale, and we're gonna have to do our obligatory photo with our beers here.
Photos.
Yeah. Yeah. To show them all off.
Gonna turn it.
Yeah. All
so
right.
You can actually see the
Krampus. Hey. All right. Yes. And so it is a rotating 3-hop triple IPA series, and it has an amazing label. Very beautiful. There's lots of different colors. There's geometric shapes, and there's 10.3% beer inside this. So yeah, it's gonna be smells wonderful. Oh, it's like fresh, and let's see
The
how it
first
tastes.
beer in our new 3-hop triple IPA series. This beautiful monster was blasted with overflowing amounts of Citra, I don't know, something in Galaxy throughout the brewing process. Touch of milk sugar to pull this one all together. Expect intense tropical notes, full pillowy mouthfeel, and a ridiculously smooth finish.
Oh
Triple
my gosh.
IPA shouldn't drink this easy.
Yeah, this is when I saw the ABV and what kind of beer it is, I thought for sure it was going to be like a punch to the face, but it is not. This is smooth. There's a slight bit of sweetness that kind of hits you and then goes away. It is soft, the tropical notes are definitely there. This is the kind of beer that I like, that's fresh, clean, tropical, smooth. And yes, you can tell that it's gonna pack a punch, but wow, phenomenal. Yes, so highly recommended. I think this is a good one that that you would enjoy. It says keep cold, drink fresh. So I've definitely kept it cold, and
Been in the fridge for a while.
yeah, it's been in there for a while. So yeah, so there we go. So yes,
What's our next? We have
The next-
another
yes,
category. I'm like, what? The beers are getting to me.
yes. So the next category I have here is movies, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna admit that I did not see a lot of movies this year.
Yeah, I don't even know if I even went to a theater. Oh, I think I did go to the theater once.
Yeah,
And I saw, shoot, I don't remember what it was. I didn't think I had gone to the movies.
I went twice. I went to see Shang-Chi when that came out.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
First time that I had been back in the theaters, since all of this started. And then I also went and saw the movie that I'm going to pick as my favorite. You're not going to see it on those high-end fancy year-end lists, but Spider-Man. So here's a couple things.
The
For
one
me,
that just came out?
the one that just came out.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what?
No Way Home. So the for me, especially now, if I'm going to see a movie, I want it to be a specific kind of experience. And so I went to see Spider-Man. It came out on a Friday, but they started showing it on Thursday in some theaters. And so I went Thursday at 3 p.m. And it was me and a bunch of other people who really wanted to see this movie as soon as they could. So when you see something like this and you have that collective experience, things happen and people are cheering and they're excited and they are loving that experience, and you get to be in on that. And it's been a long time since we've been able to do that and enjoy that. And so I really wanted that with this experience, and I got it. And I think are there problems with the movie if you sit down and think about it? Sure, probably, yes. Are there, was it the best movie of the year? Well, no, but it gave me an experience that I hadn't had in a theater in a long time. And that for me is more important than best picture, so
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved what they did with it. I think it was fun, and I think that that is kind of, for me, that's what I needed right now. So it was a great way to kind of cap off 2021.
Nice. So the movie that I actually went and saw in theater this year was Black Widow. And I saw it at a really small theater up in Camas, Washington. It was a really small theater, not very many people in there, but yeah, so it was kind of nice to actually be in the theater. Like you said, it's kind of an experience to go back to the theater, do that whole thing, get the popcorn, blah, 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 all that jazz. It was fun. I remember that. Again, for me, not the best movie of the year. It was good. I enjoyed it. But it was more about the experience, of going to the movie that kind of was nice to get back to.
Right.
One of my favorite movies that I was very much anticipating was Dune. I read the book, I've seen the old version many, many times, and I loved it. I feel like I still could watch the old one and love it. But what I wasn't expecting is for the new one to be like a two-parter.
Oh yeah, right.
Like I was like, how are they going to get this story over with? Like, there's a lot more that needs to happen. And then all of a sudden there was like, oh wait, there's going to be a whole nother one. So um, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful cinematic experience. The scenes, the shots are very beautiful. I loved it. I thought it was really well done. The acting was good. Yeah, it was
Nice.
probably one of my favorite movies of the year.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be I don't know if I'd say best picture, but maybe.
Sure. Hey, it's nice to get at least to get some escapism and something that makes you happy. That's always good.
Yes,
So
it very much did that.
yes. So our final category of the day is of course one that we can't pass up, which is beer. Our best
Ooh.
beers.
Oh, I gotta go back to my list.
Totally. I had to pull up Untapped to be able to look at the list and see what got the highest ratings for me. And so if you're new to the show or haven't heard us talk about Untapped, it is an app that lets you track and rate the beers that you drink. And since we drink a lot of different kinds of beers, we don't always remember those. So using
That's
Untapped to do that, to sort of check in for a beer, really helps. So do you want to start with some of your
Sure.
top?
So you can sort it by ratings and date. So my top one is called Harmonica Solo from my neighborhood brewery, Stormbreaker Brewing. On March 11th, I gave that a 5.0. It's a hazy IPA, imagine that, with some swagger. Citra, Mosaic, and Strata hops. That's always good. Yeah, I don't remember it exactly, but I think it's one of their regular ones that
I remember the name because that's an amazing name. So, yeah.
It's got a guy playing a harmonica on it.
Yeah. Do you have any others that you want to shout out?
I'm sorry, I'm going back.
Sure.
Oh, you go because I just
okay. I will throw out maybe my top 5 here according to what I rated, and I'll just kind of run through them kind of quickly here. The top of my list here is the Andecture Hell, which is a looks to be maybe a German beer. It's a lager. Had it on my birthday, January 23rd of 2021, and apparently I loved it because I gave it 5 stars. Also on January 23rd, I also had another German beer, and I'm going to butcher this name as well. Grevensteiner Original Naturtubes Land Beer.
Yep,
so
that one.
Yeah, it's a Keller beer or a Zwickel beer, and I gave it a 4.75 because I loved it. I also loved No Ghosts from Oakshire, which I remember was a green beer. It was like a bright green.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, and that was a February beer, and it was this bright green sour that I really enjoyed. And so there's 3. Then I also really liked Holy Roller, which is a hazy, juicy IPA from Urban South Brewery. And it was a 6.3% beer that I guess loved back in March. And the last beer of my top 5, don't hate, but it's Modelo.
Right.
I apparently at some point November 25th, was that Thanksgiving? Maybe
I was like, that was
that might have been Thanksgiving. Maybe
you probably had a few already.
A few beers in. Yeah,
this one's great.
I 5-starred a Modelo. So for those beer snobs, they're like, what have you done? But you can't go wrong with some of these that just work. And that's the thing, is I don't really consider myself a beer snob. I like
you like what you like.
Yeah. I like to run the spectrum, and there you go.
Yeah, so my first one was the harmonica. My second is Transcend from Heathen Brewing back in July. It's an IPA. Gave that one 5 stars with the citrus flavors. My next one is the Voodoo Ranger Pumpkin Spice. From New Belgium Brewing. Gave that a 5.0 back in September. I love the pumpkin beers. Breathing Conversations from Modest Brewing Company. It's another IPA. I feel like I'm not really remembering that one.
I remember the name.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
And then, crazy German word, Scheppelkopfgen.
Nice.
The monkless Belgian ales.
Perfect.
4.75. Scheppelkopfgen.
I like it.
And I know my German speaking friend is, no, Shep Koffigan. Yep.
Yeah, Scheppelkopfgen. All right. Well, we had a lot of beer. We talked about a lot of different things, and even though the year is over, I'm glad that we were able to share it by doing these shows together and putting them out. And I'm excited for next year. I think it's going to be fun. I think that I'm trying to go into it positively, and I hope that if you're listening to this, that you are too. And
I think we all need to look on the bright side of things and think of all the positive things that we have going for ourselves. That'll help us have a great 2022.
Yes. And before we close, we want to thank our sponsor, Manscaped, for
always. I'm feeling good today,
helping us shave our balls and keep our nethers and everything else groomed, trimmed, and clean.
Hear it. It's so silent.
Oh, let's hear. Let's see.
It's going.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So it's a super quiet. So that's the lawnmower 4.0, right?
Yes, lawnmower 4.0 with the light.
Yes.
And the guard on there that helps you not get all nicked up.
Right. So yeah, so Manscaped, they've got all kinds of great products that you should definitely check out. Grooming is in 2022. So, clean it up. You don't have to shave it all the way off. If you want to, great. If you don't, these products are good. Yeah. They can help you from your nose hair to your nut hair. So
yes,
you're kind of covered
nose
there.
to nuts.
Nose to nuts. That should be their new slogan, right?
But make sure and use code HEAVY for 20% off and free shipping. Don't forget the code HEAVY.
Yes, please do. And there are lots of products there that will help you not just groom your hair, but also spritz and stay fresh after you've gone through through a day. You need a little refresher. They've got products for that. They've got shampoo, they've got body wash, all kinds of good stuff. Definitely recommend it. I've found that I'm using a bunch of their products on a regular basis. I dig them.
Awesome.
There we go.
Well, on that note, thanks, Bruce, for another great episode.
Yes.
Looking forward to 2022. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your
Podcast.